Hello lovely people and welcome to London Diaries with Shika. So today's video is all about this glamorous look that I have got going today. This look is a perfect look for a New Year's party or actually any other type of party as well. And if you're curious to see how I got it, then please keep watching. Okay, let's start with a couple of post-it notes for our eyes and move on to priming using MAC Paint Pot in the shade Soft Ochre. I'm applying it all over my lid and I absolutely love this primer for my eyes as it helps hide any discoloration that's going on. To set this, I'm going to move on to Makeup Geek shade Crème Brulee, and I'm going to again apply it all over my lid. For my crease, I'm using Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette shade Shell 64V. This is a dusky pink color, which is really good for your transition shade, and I'm applying it in my crease area. Moving on to Naked Basics palette shade Faint, which is a darker brown. I'm building up my crease because I'm going to be using a black eyeshadow, so I want to make sure there's a base to it. Now going into that same palette and using the black shade called Crave, you want to make sure you're easy with this shade because you don't want to apply so much that you can't blend it out. Now let's get on to the star of the show, which is Stila Liquid Metal Eyeshadow in the shade Molten Midnight. As you can see, these are super pigmented and I am absolutely loving these shades instead of loose glitter because they're not so messy and they're really easy to control. They set almost immediately as you apply them, so absolutely loving them. Now I'm going to go back into Crave and I'm going to gently buff out the edges to make sure that everything is nice and evenly blended out. Now this is really crucial because you don't want to look like you have, two eyes. And again, I'm going to take a brush with no product on it and make sure that everything I have put on is blended together. Moving on to eyeliner, I'm using this eyeliner from Guerlain and nothing dramatic, just nice and simple, lining close to my lash line to make sure that there is some definition, but the star of the show is the liquid eyeshadow. I don't want to make my eyeliner thicker or even, let's say, have a winged eyeliner going on. Now let's move on to our face, and I'm going to use Illamasqua cream pigment to cover my under eye dark circles before moving on to my foundation, which is from Chanel Sublimage Latent. I'm just dotting it all over my face and using a couple of drops from Farsali Beauty Oil. I'm going to get the brush from the same foundation and buff it all in. I absolutely love this foundation, and the combination with Farsali oil is going to give you a very glowing skin. Now for my under eye concealer, I'm going for Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Tan, and using the blender from Tarte, I'm blending it all out. Let's get into contouring now. Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette, dipping into the darker shade. I am applying it under my cheekbones as I'm going for a fully chiseled out look for this party. I'm making sure I'm applying it on all the key areas, including my jawline, my lower lip, my neck to hide any double chin scenario that might be going on, my forehead, and of course my nose. Now I'm going to blend it using Charlotte Tilbury contour brush. Although it looks like I'm being very forceful, it's just because the video is on high speed at the moment. Otherwise, when you're blending out your contour, you want to make sure you're nice and gentle so that you get the definition and you don't diffuse the product into being nothing or making your skin look muddy. A tip is that always go easy with the amount of product you use because you can always build it up. But if you put too much on, then it's going to be difficult to blend out. Now, as you notice, I'm applying a little bit more of this product to my neck and my cheekbones because I just thought that I needed a bit more contouring. And now I'm going to blend it out before I move on to my favorite part, which is highlighting, of course. For that, I'm using first Hollywood Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm applying it on high points of my face, and I'm also going to get Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Medium and go just under my contour because this is going to help my contour even more. Now I'm going to blend everything out using the same blender that I've been using for the whole look. Again, I'm not being as forceful as it looks in the video. You want to tap it gently. Now let's get into the Dewdrops highlighter, gel highlighter from Marc Jacobs. I have put like a small pump on the back of my hand, and I'm using the same beauty blender to apply it on high points of my cheek. I absolutely love this highlighter. As you can see, this is very, very glowy, and it's going to give you that natural glow from within look. For misting my face, I'm using Estee Lauder Face Mist before I move on to setting my under eye area using the powder from La Mer. Now, to set my contour, I'm going into Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow palette using the darker shade. I am going to set the areas that I contoured. Okay, so the next on the list is baking, and for that I'm using RCMA No Color Powder. I'm applying it under my contour area, and this is going to give more definition to the contour and also around my lip area. Now for my brows, I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Eyebrow Pencil. Nothing complex, just filling in the gaps to make sure everything is looking good. I'm going to take Marc Jacobs gel eyeliner for tightlining my upper waterline. And then I'm going to move on to my mascara, which is from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just applying a generous layer of this to my lashes, as I don't really like using fake lashes. Now I'm using this nude pencil from Rimmel to tightline my lower waterline before I get into this mascara from L'Oreal for my lower lashes. Okay, I'm going to now remove all the baking, and for setting my face, I'm using the powder from La Mer again. For blush, I'm going to use Marc Jacobs Air Blush in the shade Lines and Last Night. And for highlighter, I'm going to get into Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow, and again use the highlighter shade for my high points. For mist, I'm using Queen of Hungary Mist before moving on to my lips and lining them using Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the shade Pillow Talk. And for lipstick, I'm going to again use Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in the shade Super Cindy. It's a matte nude lipstick. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, then please do leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, please keep smiling.